Welcome to this Introduction to Zoom. This tutorial was developed by the Sabes Program Support Professional Development Center to support adult educators, both within the PD system and in adult education programs. Our goal is to introduce the basics of scheduling Zoom sessions and using Zoom tools to help you make meetings and classes more interactive and engaging. You can schedule Zoom meetings from your computer or smartphone, through the web portal or in the app. We're looking at the web portal, but the options are the same in the app. Input the basic meeting information, topic, description, and the time, and you can set your meeting up to be recurring, say if you have a regular class meeting time. Requiring registration will require participants to RSVP and enter some contact info. Starting September 27, 2020, Zoom will require that all meetings have a password or a waiting room enabled for all paid accounts, and it's a good idea to use at least one of these anyway. If you enable the waiting room, you will have to approve each person when they join before they actually enter the meeting room. Using a password, of course, requires a person to enter the password, but usually the registration URL on your invitation will have a unique password embedded in it to allow for one-click entry. Enabling Join Before Host will let others enter the meeting room and chat before you arrive. Once you've saved your meeting, you can copy the invitation and then paste it into an email to attendees. Zoom doesn't have an integrated reminder system, but registered attendees can be automatically notified if you make any changes to the meeting. One of the first things you might do when starting your meeting is share your screen or an application. Sharing your screen shares your entire desktop, but sharing an application, say PowerPoint or your browser, keeps your desktop and other programs hidden. It's generally easiest to share your screen if you plan to show different documents or applications. If you only share an application, you'll have to stop sharing your screen each time you want to move to a different application. Also, decide if you want to share your computer sound with the attendees. You'll want to do this if you plan to share audio or video so that others can hear it. And also check Optimize Screen Sharing for a video clip if you plan to share a video. To start recording your meeting, just click Record on the bottom panel. You can choose to record onto your computer or onto the cloud. For the majority of people, saving to the cloud is easiest. There are many reasons why it might be important to avoid recording students. You should only record a Zoom session when all the participants are aware it will be recorded and have given consent. Right before you do this, you might want to inform your attendees to remind them that what they say or do could be viewed by others later on. Whiteboards and annotation are great ways to get your attendees to interact during your meeting. Just share your screen and choose the whiteboard from the list. You can ask participants to contribute here on a blank whiteboard, but you can also ask your participants to annotate anything else you might be sharing on your screen. You can save annotations so you can refer to them later as a PNG or PDF file. Just click Save on the annotation panel. When you're done using annotations, you might want to remind participants to close the annotation panel so it's not in their way. In this example, the meeting host asked adult education directors, how many new students do you think you'll need to recruit for the fall? And also, how do you feel about your progress? Participants use the annotation tools to respond. Using polls is another way to add some interactivity. Polls can include single choice or multiple choice questions. And polling is available in any scheduled meeting or meetings using your personal meeting ID or personal room. Attendees can respond to polls from any device, but you'll need to be on the Zoom client for desktop, Windows, Mac, or Linux in order to manage the polls. You can create polls on the fly, but it's usually best to make them ahead of time so that they're ready to go. Just edit your scheduled meeting, scroll to the bottom, and click Add Poll. Breakout rooms are another great way to make meetings interactive. Just click Breakout Groups on the bottom panel. Choose the number of breakout rooms and whether you'd like to assign participants automatically or manually create the groups yourself. Before opening the breakout rooms, check the options. Decide whether to automatically move participants into their assigned breakout rooms immediately. This will save them a couple clicks, and whether you want to allow them to leave their breakout sessions at any time and return to the main session. If you decide you want to allow this, remind participants to be careful not to exit out of the whole meeting when doing this. If you like, set a timer to automatically close the rooms after a certain period of time. While the breakout rooms are open, you can broadcast messages to all the rooms. This might be helpful to let people know it's time to move to the next topic or assignment, or that they should begin wrapping up. If your participants have any trouble in their breakout rooms, they can notify you from their breakout session and request that you join their room. For pre- and post-NRS assessment testing, testers will need to put each student in a breakout room, and they will need to monitor the breakout rooms so that if a student gets stuck and requests help, the tester can join them in their room to assist them. Before you end your meeting, consider saving the chat if it has valuable information or comments from your attendees. And remember to stop your recording when your meeting is over so you won't have to trim off any lingering conversation before sharing it. To share your recording, navigate to Recordings in your Zoom portal. Click on the title of your meeting and then click Copy Shareable Link. You can then paste this into an email and send it to others. Good luck with your Zoom meetings.